Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Wives Wind Down. Hey! Oh, I see you, Renita. First hot on the block. Yes! Welcome! Give everyone a few moments to jump on in here. I'm so excited. You all know what time it is. Hey, Noelle! Oh, thanks for joining. I see you all. I hope everyone looks lovely. I hope you've grabbed your glasses, of course. Come on in here. Beauty is her name. Yes, I love that. That's the one that's pretty easy to decipher, because some of these names, they be all over the place. People are like, what's your IG? I'm like, Shonda B. White. How y'all doing today? As you're coming in, welcome. Yes, I can't wait for tonight. This is going to be a great night. If you are new to Wives Wind Down, welcome. And if you're back, thank you again. Hey, Beauty, I see you. Thanks for joining. You guys, welcome. I'm so glad that you all are here. This has truly been a blessing. We are just getting started with Wives Wind Down. But when I tell y'all, God has been truly moving. The messages that you all send, and feel free to take screenshots and do videos or whatever and repost and share and tell a friend, invite a friend. But you all have really been showing up and just supporting in so many ways, and I'm so excited. I see our guest has just joined. Yay, I'm so excited. I'm going to bring you on in just a second, LB, in just a minute. Yes, make sure you request to join the live, of course. I'm so excited. We have a great night in store. Again, I just thank you all for your support. This is Wives Wind Down if you're just joining, so welcome. I am Shonda Brown White. I have been married for about, oh yes, thank you, Beauty. She said she shared it. Thank you. I see you, wife coach. I can't wait. Yes, I'm going to join you in just a second. Make sure you hit that request button. But I am Shonda White, and I have been married for, it'll be 12 years in September. I had to think about it for a second. And, this Wives Wind Down was just something that was on my heart. I felt like we needed an outlet for just some good old girl talk, but also for whether you've been married, a year, 10 years, 20 years, or maybe you just got married and you're like, what do I do now that I'm married? What do I do to be a wife? How do I be a wife? Or what is this all about? Or you aspire to get married and you're like, what's, marriage life really all about? This is that outlet for you. Cause I felt like when I first got married, I didn't really have that outlet. I didn't really know who I could go and talk to or ask questions, especially even before I got married. I was like, who do I ask questions about when it comes to marriage? How do I be a wife? I don't understand. So this is that outlet for you. We grab our glasses, we grab our girls, we share some laughs, and we have such a good time. So thank you again for those of you all who have been supporting and sharing. Your messages mean the world to me. Someone just told me earlier today that last week was so amazing and how she felt like that was for her and that it really helped her in her marriage and it helped her to see things. And I'm like, this is what it's all about, connecting with each other. Make sure you chat. Welcome. I see you all who just joined. Make sure you chat, ask your questions, chime in, because we love that. And also, as you're coming in, let me know one or two if you're single or married. So 1 if you're single and 2 if you're married. Hey, Aya, thanks for joining. So now, without further ado, now that you got the little intro, let me add in our special guest, which I'm so excited. He's coming on. Yay! Make sure you drop in your comments, 1 for single and 2 for married. Hey! Hey, boo! Listen, don't get me started because I will go all the way in.
Hey, Shonda! I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays.
Listen, it has been a long, long time.
It has.
And that's why I'm even more appreciative that you even accepted the invitation. And I'm so excited that you are with us. Listen, everybody was excited on Instagram today. They like, oh, LB, that's my girl. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm like, I already know.
I'm so excited. I see my folks too. Ain't you, Quana?
Yes. Let me make sure my volume's up. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so we got, let me see. I saw a few singles, married. Okay. Yes, a nice little mix. Okay, I love it. You're in the right place.
Yes.
So before we get started, let me introduce our wonderful special guest tonight. Lakia LB Brandenburg, the wife coach, is the creator of the Marriage Success Planner and the only online masterclass that's changing miserable married women into happy, healthy, and irresistible wives. I cannot wait to dig into that. When she's not in class, she's on stage inspiring her female audiences to become better if they want better marriages. So everyone, clap it up for Miss LB.
I hear the applause. I hear it. What's up, everybody?
Yes,
I'm so exciting. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. I'm so excited. And before we even dig into everything, I know I've told you privately, but I wanted to publicly just acknowledge and let you know how much I admire your strength. For those of you all who don't know, LB recently lost her mom. I don't even know if it's been a month.
Yeah. To COVID, May 1st. So
wow.
Yeah, still it seems like yesterday.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask you first, how are you doing?
Thank you. You know what's so funny? And it's crazy that you asked me that, because that's the question that we don't know how to answer. I've never dealt with grief like this before, Shonda. I don't know if you've ever lost someone, and I'm sure many people have, but I'm grieving. I'm literally grieving. I am really trying to process this new life, how this has affected my family as a unit. Like, my mother was our rock, and she was close to not just myself and my sister, but to my husband, to my girls. And so we are really trying to learn what this is all about, what's the meaning of all of this. But I told my mother, look, woman, because that's how I talk to my mama, I'm going to celebrate your life and not mourn your death. And so even through my tears, I had an episode yesterday crying and just, so I'm grieving. So when you say, how are you? I'm grieving, y'all. Like, I lost my mama. Like, that was my mama. You know, come on, y'all. That was my mama. So yes, I appreciate that. But that's one thing I'm learning on this grief journey. That is one of those questions that's so packed with confusion. 1 minute I'm good, 1 minute I'm not. So I'm just grieving. So that's pretty much how I like to answer that. I appreciate you though.
Yes, and that's honest, and that's what we're here for, the honesty and the transparency, because I think it was some pastor that said, like, don't ask people how they're feeling, because your feelings fluctuate, but they like, ask people how are you doing, because how you doing is deeper. It's like, because you can still say, you know what, I'm not doing great, and I will get through this. So for you being honest and open, and I know there are others on the chat who can relate to that, whether they've lost a parent, I've lost grandparents, but I can't even begin to say that I understand how you feel right now. But I'm just glad that you're honest in your feelings, so that people know it's okay to say, I'm not okay at the moment.
Yes. I'm not okay, but I'm going to be okay.
Exactly.
And it's just the process of getting there. But I do appreciate it. I know people like you, my girls, have been, supporting me throughout this process. I do appreciate y'all. I can feel the love and keep sending it my way.
Yes, nothing but positive as we got you. We here for you. Got a whole army praying for
you. Thank you, Shonda.
So, and I see everyone joining in. Welcome. We're so glad to have you. So let's get into this. How have you and your husband been during quarantine? Like, have you all had any like creative date nights and stuff? Because I know you two like to really have fun.
We do. You know what? I do believe Derek and I are a fun couple. But if I must say, it has been challenging because of everything that's going on. My mother got sick early on when quarantine had just started. And so our focus was on her, like from April up until the day that she passed. And then, of course, the aftermath. So Derek and I, honestly, we got to do better. If I could just be completely honest, we got to do better. But we're also giving each other grace. We've extended each other grace because of the season that we're currently in. Some of the things that we did early on before mom got sick, in March, we did some this is when Atlanta was first shutting down, Shonda. So we would get in the car, we would go riding around. I had my glass of wine. I wasn't driving. Right. I was in the passenger seat. But I would go driving around Atlanta. We'll pick up some curbside. So that was some fun stuff for us to do. We're listening, playing, doing karaoke in the car. Those were some of the things that early on we were able to do and really have fun. But now, like I said, it's just kind of getting back into the swing of things. And that's one of those areas that we had that conversation when we have our meetings, our pillow talk. Okay, bruh. We ain't had no date night in a minute. We ain't had no date day. You know what I'm saying? We need to get with it. So we are going to be tapping into the Marriage Success Plan in the back and getting some ideas on what we need to do to get back that spark and that excitement, even though we're in quarantine.
Yeah, listen, I just keep it 100. I've been having the same conversation with my husband. I'm like, listen,
Baby.
I know that we can't be as creative as we'd like to be, but we can still be creative. Like,
Hello.
yeah, like we're still here. There's still things we can do, and
It
we can be
is.
safe. But I've been having those same
I'm
conversations.
telling you, right. So that's
Mhm.
good. See, and look, we got 12 years here. I've been married for 10. And I'm telling y'all, marriage is work. You are not going to stop working when you get married. Okay, I'm from Maryland, y'all. Married, okay? You're going to keep working at it. And so this is one of those seasons where we're like, okay, date night has been put on the back burner. But now if we start disconnecting, if we start seeing that we getting at each other, okay, when the last time we had a date night conversation? What? So we got to get on it, y'all.
Girl, look, thank you, Lord,
Look,
because that was
take a sip.
divine.
Take a sip.
Take a sip. On that, y'all got your drinks. Mm-hmm. Listen, let me tell you, I feel you. So I'm gonna get into some of your quotes, but one of these quotes that I found on your page, which I think opens up such a great discussion. You have a quote on your page that says, "I can't be the same wife I was 10 years ago. The things that worked then may not work now. And if I want my marriage to grow, I have to be willing to grow in my marriage." And I love that. I recently attended a virtual marriage conference, and a lot of them talked about that. It's like the wife I am, pre-children is going to be different the wife when I have children.
Yes.
And I know you and your husband, I think you met back in college. And so I'm like, I know who you are today.
Girl.
Is clearly not who you were then. So talk to us about that journey and that evolution of the changes that you've seen within yourself as well as within your marriage.
Absolutely. And see, Derek and I met, I was 19, he was 20. I barely knew who I was at 19. He barely knew who he was at 20. So we have grown up together over the last 20 years. We've grown up together. And so we got married 8 to 10 years after we had dated, because we were like dating off and on, you know what I'm saying? Like the makeups, the breakups. And finally it was like, look, dude, what we going to do here? We going to go together forever, or we going to make it last forever? What we doing?
Yes.
So we finally got married. But that 1 year, that first year wife is not the same 10-year wife that he has now. I've had to become a better person for me first, meaning I had to learn how to talk to my husband and figure out why I was talking to him the way I was. I like to do Tame Your Tongue Tuesdays. And so that's one of those lessons that I had to really focus on, because when I was growing up, I saw how my parents talked to each other. Their mode of conversation or communication was arguing, cussing and fussing. And so when I adopted those things, thinking that's how you do it, that's just how relationships work. Nah, boo, that's not how this relationship gonna work. So I had to grow up. Like, marriage will mature you, or it will expose the immaturity in you. And there were so many areas that LB had to grow up in, from how I not just responded to him, but stopped looking at it as it was his fault, but what was it inside of me that needed to be uprooted and dealt with? Like, it was some deep self-discovery that had to take place over the course of 10 years. And again, 19-year-old LB is not the same 41-year-old LB today. And so I've matured. I've grown up. There's still some areas, though, that the girl needs to grow up in. But I know that the wife that Derek had when we first got married, October 10th, 2009, she has definitely grown up and evolved. She has a voice. She knows how to use her voice for good. I understand that there's a difference between being a married woman and being a wife. I understand that God said a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. So I've learned how to tap into that good thing. You know what I mean? So just learning how to really own being a wife, own how I show up in my marriage. Like, that's something I couldn't do because I was real petty. I'm a Gemini. Real petty. You know what I'm saying?
We had Ashley on last week, and we called her Petty LaBelle.
I can still be petty, but I was real petty at 19. See, now I'm just petty. I grew up.
Yep. We're all a work in progress. And you said something about, I love that. You said something about, like, there's a difference between being married and being a wife. Go a little deeper into that.
Absolutely. So listen, ladies, all my ladies, my single ladies, y'all ready for this one?
Look, they listening.
Married women aren't wives. When I tell y'all, this has been the foundation of everything that I do. All married women aren't wives. Let me tell you in a nutshell, both women have power. But one of those women is manipulative and the other is influential. One person uses her power for good, One woman uses her power for not good. Okay. When I say married, I mean you just got a ring on your finger. Your whole goal is, okay, we've been together forever. Let's just go to that next step and get married. Let's just become husband and wife. Let's just get it. Let me get the title by default. But you ain't trying to do no work. You ain't trying to put in work. And I mean, you're Mrs. Sarcastic. Oh, take a sip, LB. You are Mrs. Know-It-All, Mrs. Controlling. That's the married woman. That's the woman who is miserable. And misery, you know, is not a good way to be married. There's no reason for you to be married if you're going to be miserable. So you need to learn how to tap into the power of the P. I don't know where your mind just went, but that's position. Wow. You need to take a sip. See, y'all don't know. What y'all talking about tonight? I'm talking about position. Yeah, Shonda. There's power in that P too. But I'm talking about the power of your position as a wife. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing, right? An excellent wife is the crown of her husband. You got to tap into that good, knowing how to communicate your feelings when you're frustrated, understanding how to really bounce back from an argument. When you and your man have a blow up, you ain't got to cuss each other out. No, let's figure out how to really effectively communicate. See, that's the difference. One woman puts in the work. The other one just there and just like, okay, I want to get divorced. This thing ain't going to work. I can't do this no more. So that's the difference. That's what the master class teaches you. The difference between the two.
The comments are going. Somebody said, I mean, I hear you, sis. Somebody said, look, LB, you calling me out. Listen, it's y'all, this is what we're here for. Listen, it's with love. It's tight, but it's right. And it's fun. And it's with love. So just know she's coming. She said, now just tune in and you talking, sis. Yes. Like, this is that
real. I'm trying
real.
to help us, ladies. That's all. I want us to be in. Come on, Shonda. You and your husband, first of all, I love y'all. I love your example of Black love. I know you're not a perfect couple. I know you're not. You're two imperfect people, perfect for each other. Yep. And I just believe that if we can get our relationships together, if we can really get the home front together, we can be successful in any area. From our businesses to our jobs to our communities. We got to get that home front together. And it starts with the man and the woman trying to figure out, okay, how can we work together and be this power couple that we already are? We just don't realize the potential. We don't realize, you know, that we already got this inside of us, but now we got to do the work so that we can start, you know, pretty much showing it in the world. So
exactly. Somebody said, "Oh, she feels bad." So I was sarcastic last night. Child, I was a whole petty last night. Okay, like let me tell y'all the level of my pettiness lately. Eric always teases. He's like, "I'm a grown man. I'm too old for this." And I'm like, "Oh, so we old now?" So you know what I've been doing? I've been playing 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗃 before we go to bed each night. Petty, like why? But I do love 𝗪𝗲𝗃. But I'm like, oh, so we old? Guess what? 𝗪𝗲𝗃𝗃's gonna put us to sleep tonight. It has annoyed the crap out of him. He's like, I get your point now. I get your point. So listen,
that's pretty funny.
We all have our moments.
We do it, but that's the thing. But see, the beautiful thing about it though, you recognize what you're showing up as. And at that point, you have a decision to make. Am I going to continue to be Mrs. Petty? Or am I going to grow up? That's all it's about.
Exactly.
Am I going to grow up and say, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this a little differently. I want to be real sarcastic. I'm sarcastic queen. Like Mrs. Sarcastic is my title. Like my husband does not want to talk to me sometimes because of the sarcasm. And that's not good.
Right.
Then you're like, oh, he's not intimate. Like he don't really be talking about emotional stuff. Why? Because he don't want to talk to you. My husband has told me plenty times, and it hurt my feelings. But this is me doing the work. He's like, oh, you ain't easy to talk to. And I'm like, I ain't easy to talk to you. What you talking about? I ain't easy. Look, defensive.
Right.
I mean, I'm a communicator. What are you talking about? And then he'll break down. You cut me off. You always know this. And he started pretty much reading me. He was reading me. And I had to sit there and take it and say, you know what? I have to do better. Because if I want to create a safe space for my man to come to me and open up and share his fears, share his heart, then I got to create the atmosphere.
Yes.
And I wasn't doing it. So that's an understanding. Again, married woman versus wife. All right, ladies.
That was good. Somebody said member of the National Sarcastic Society since '85. You know what?
Oh, you a long-standing member. Jesus, Chad, you paid your fees. Did you pay your dues?
So I love that you're to that point of like being just married versus being a wife. you say you're changing miserable married women into happy, irresistible wives, which I love, because sometimes people get into marriages and they realize, oh my gosh, like I'm miserable, it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny how we get coaching for everything, like coach how to be a business or coach how to make money and coaches for this. But it's like, who's really coaching us, especially those of us who like truly don't know? It's like, who's coaching us on how to be a wife? And so you started the masterclass, and as well as your marriage success planner, which is so amazing. So what was the inspiration behind that? And like, was it within your own marriage and like self-reflection and retrospective, or was it, you know, seeing other marriages? Like, what inspired all of that? And tell us
that's
more.
really good. Absolutely. So really I started with 2 books. I have 2 relationship-based books, Picture Perfect, He's Not Perfect, I'm Not Perfect, but together we're picture perfect. And I have the Tiara, 5 Ways to Reign as Queen of Your Castle. So basically these 2 books are based on my life. How I came into this position as a wife. My mother was my very first example of what a wife was. She wasn't the best example, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because she didn't know.
Right.
She did the best that she knew how to do. And so even though my mother didn't necessarily teach me how to be a wife, she taught me what not to do. And I still appreciated her for it and dedicated the Tiara to her, because you were my example.
Absolutely.
You basically showed me what to do and what not to do, right? So I took my experiences from growing up under their household, creating my own marriage, and said, you know what? I'm really realizing from the women I'm coaching, from the women who are having these same challenges that I'm having, they don't know how to talk to their man. They are believing this fairy tale. Many of y'all are on here believing this fairy tale syndrome that does not exist. Stop watching these movies and thinking your life's going to be like that, girl. You're going to be disappointed. Don't do it to yourself. But I started seeing, like, wait a minute. I'm married to an imperfect man. He's married to an imperfect person, but we have what we consider a marriage that's perfect for us. So let me show other women what they could be doing that's keeping them from doing that. Like, your man is not connecting with you because you are repelling him. Like, your words, you know, your attitude, your body language. Like, your husband can feel your energy. Your man can feel your energy when he walks in the door. He already know if you're in a good mood or not. Do you know how powerful you are? And so I wanted to be responsible with this power that God has given us, because we are power of faith. I wanted to make sure that I showed my ladies the difference. Like, let me show you what you're doing and how to change it. And it wasn't like drastic changes. These are small things. Like, don't say we need to talk. Erase that from your vocabulary. No. Have I ever told you? Like, change it from we need to talk to have I ever told you? And you start with lead with something positive and then shift into what you want. See, this is something I was never taught. I'm just like, we need to talk. And I'm coming like this, attitude, you know, body language. We need to talk. And he's like, well, no, I don't want to talk to you. What you want to say? So that's what the masterclass. The masterclass is 6 weeks. I am basically taking these ladies on a journey of transforming their mindsets of what they think their marriage should be, so they can embrace it for what it really is. Teach them how to show up and own who they are, giving them a voice. Yes, I tell you to tame your tongue, but I'm not taking your voice away. I'm showing you how to use your tongue for good. I'm showing you how to make your point. How to be frustrated. You can be pissed. I'm not walking around here happy-go-lucky every day. Sometimes I'm like, oh, no, he didn't. Okay. Did I just hear that, Sean? Did I? Okay, well, but before, see, 19, 20, 21-year-old LB would have been like, oh, let me tell you something, partner. Hold on. Who you talking to? Right? But now, 41-year-old, I don't even know if he really meant it like that. Maybe I'm overreacting. Am I overreacting? If it's really bothering me. See, I can do all of this now, and this is what I'm teaching my ladies in my masterclass. So that's the masterclass. And I know you asked about the Marriage Success Planner. The Marriage Success Planner is literally 10 years of what Derek and I have been doing in the bed. Not like that, but not that kind of in the bed. But we have pillow talk on Sundays. And pillow talk is simply an opportunity for he and I to have conversations about our relationship. Like, how you been doing this week? What happened this week? If we never had an opportunity to really sit down and talk, we made sure that Sundays was our day. And so with the Marriage Success Planner, I've created it so that other couples now can communicate and take care of business. Because that's what it is. My marriage is my business. Yes, I'm the wife coach. Yes, I have a publishing company. But let me tell you what my first business is. My marriage.
You better tell them.
Take a sip. Can I take a sip on that one?
You can. This wives wind down. welcome if you just joined us.
Hey. Okay. So I have to make sure that my home team is taken care of first before I expect anything else around me to be successful. I refuse to be a public success and a private failure. Like, I just refuse. So the marriage success planner has been designed to get you and your man to start talking, because guess what, Shonda? 60% of marriages are ending not because of infidelity, not because they really, because of finances. And I know a lot of people think that, but it's because of the lack of communication.
Yes.
All of those things go right back to the lack of effective communication. We don't communicate. We talk to each other. We talk at each other.
Yes. And that actually brings me to my point. One of your quotes you said, which I talk about this all the time. You may be talking. This is a quote from you. You may be talking, but that doesn't mean you're communicating, because a lot of times we say communication is the key. But depending on, like you were talking about, depending on how you were raised and stuff, like the way I saw my grandparents communicate sometimes, I was like, oh, Lord. I mean, is that how you do it? And it's like, it's not so much communication, because I can yell at you. I can maybe even cuss you out. But is the communication civil? Is it effective? Are we listening as much as we're talking? So I love that quote on your page about that.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's what it's about. It's really pretty much bringing awareness to this idea that we think we know how to communicate. Like I often say, it's not that he's not communicating. He's just not communicating the way you want him to.
Exactly.
Woo!
Exactly.
So now I gotta study how he communicates. God, it's called work.
Yeah.
Welcome to marriage.
Yes.
Welcome to marriage. It's called work.
Someone said,
at how you're gonna communicate with each other. Somebody had a question?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. They was just saying that's the issue me and my husband had. She said keyword had. And
yes, good job.
Yes, like kudos to you, Ebony, because like that's what it's about. And like you were saying earlier, like it's acknowledging that and being able to say, hey, I might be petty queen, but guess what? I'm not as petty as I used to be. Or I'm communicating better than I used to. And I'm not snapping my neck and my fingers as much as I used to or anymore.
Silent treatment.
Right. Ooh, silent treatment. I won't even talk about that. Yes. One of your other quotes that I love, and I think this debunks one of the marriage myths that I always heard. And when I got married, I was like, I thought my marriage was in danger because this was true for me. But then I realized, no, this is normal. But you say, contrary to popular belief, you will go to bed angry.
Look.
Facts.
Shonda, we've been married a little while. Like, they call us vets. After 10 years, they pretty much think you're going to be the last.
Apparently so.
They really do. And what I realized is when I went to bed angry, I'm like, okay, is something wrong with me? Because I know the word. Because saints, come on, saints. I know y'all on here.
They just love Bible study.
Me, do not let the sun go down on your wrath. That's what the word say. I said, you know what? And that word is for a mature person. I ain't quite there yet. He ain't done with me yet. It's okay. You are a human being. I'm not telling you 20 years in your marriage, y'all need to be going to bed angry all the time. Like, nah, hopefully y'all don't work some things out and have some strategies in place. But sometimes you need a cool off moment. If we just had a blow up and I feel like you hit a spot and you feel like I hit a spot that just was like, wait a minute, hold up. Let's take some time and regroup. Let's take some time to really get those feelings down, because we get lost in our feelings and we try to communicate based on feelings, and that's when things go completely left. You don't even know what you're arguing about. You argue about arguing.
Yes.
I don't even like the way you are. You know what you did. Well, what's the problem then? What's the real issue? So no, I definitely, contrary to belief, if you go to bed angry, it's okay.
It's okay.
Work through it. It's okay. And then guess what? You're going to see that the next time y'all have an argument, y'all were able to resolve it like that. And you were like, well, dang, we growing. We're working on this thing. Our communication is improving.
Yes.
But until then, he might be sleeping on the couch. You might be in the bed.
Right. Go to bed. Yep. Because like you said, I used to think, I was like, something's wrong with me. My marriage is doomed. And I have definitely seen how, like the first year, Eric and I, we could argue, and that argument would last for like 3 or 4 days.
Yes.
Yes. Now it's like we can hit something, maybe as my friend Renita calls it, heated fellowship. We can have a heated
intense fellowship.
Yeah, intense fellowship. Yes. Shout out to Renita. That's totally hers. But it's like we can have that, but like now it's like, oh, we can hit it and be done. You know what I mean? Unless I'm
Right.
just really angry, it might last maybe a few hours, but or maybe a day or so. But instead of going a whole week of not talking to each other, like that's growth. So yeah, I love that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers to growth. Because we need to know that, because there is some young woman out there who you're newly married or you think about getting married, and like you said, the saints will scream that, don't you go to bed angry, and you're like, child,
you better go to bed angry, because if y'all stay up and fight, it might get worse.
Right.
Somebody
we might be up all night. Right. One of your other quotes, and this was actually, I love this one just because of the relevancy of where we are right now.
Yeah.
But this is one of the last quotes. I know this pandemic wasn't on your vision board. Lord knows it wasn't. Ooh. But I can guarantee you it's giving you vision.
Oh my God, Shonda, let me tell you something. I actually wrote that when mommy got sick. We found out she had COVID. And it just put things into perspective. Like, it put life into perspective like this. Because now our life is changing forever. With my marriage, you know, everything is shifting because, like I said, my husband and my mother has such a good relationship. He's known her for over 20 years, right? That was like his mama. You know what I mean? That was her son. So just knowing that it has really helped you to see where the foundation is when it comes to your relationship, to bring it back to that. What areas are you strong in? What areas do you need to focus on? Because this whole quarantine thing, it threw a monkey wrench in a lot of people's plans. People thought that they had a solid relationship until they were quarantined together. I know you were like, oh, we're gonna travel to Bali this year. We're gonna do all this great stuff. And then your marriage probably would have felt real, real good with all them couples trips and stuff like that. And then it was like, nah, y'all ain't going nowhere. Bam, stay home and figure it out. And you like, I don't even know this person I live with. You know, his feet stink. Do you snort? You chew like that? Like, perspective. It really helped you to see, okay, do I really know this man? Do I really know this woman? How can we really get connected? Because sometimes life keeps us, life kept us before the pandemic very busy. I don't know how many hours out of the day you saw your man or he saw you. But now you're seeing him almost every hour of the day. Every day. Every hour of the day. And you got to adjust to that. And your relationship has to adjust. They said divorce rates went up because of this pandemic. People couldn't work it out. They couldn't figure it out. So absolutely, I know that this pandemic has touched us and affected us. Many of us are grieving, not just the loss of a loved one, but the loss of the normalcy, the loss of being able to, like you said, you and your man doing fun stuff. Me and my boo going on vacations. Our vacations were canceled. All of that stuff. Now we're forced to really look at, make sure our foundation is together. Let's make sure we really, you know, those things that we try to avoid and didn't address, it's in our face. We can't avoid it anymore. We can't run from it. Now let's face it. Let's really fight for what we want, which is this marriage to work.
Yes, that's good. I know even my husband, he's been saying that, like, he has like coworkers who like husbands and wives, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to get back to the office, which is not going to happen anytime soon. Right. But like, they've realized that they don't, somebody said in the comments, a lot of people found out they didn't like their husband or wife. And it's so true. I am thankful that despite even like our heated fellowships, or if I'm like, oh Lord, I wish you would just stop touching me today because I'm just not in the mood or whatever. It's like, I still like my husband, and like, we do corny stuff and we make stupid songs together. But I definitely haven't been like, I've enjoyed the time we've had. Of course, it hasn't been perfect, but like, I'm definitely not one of those who's like, oh, I can't wait. I'm like, no, I'm actually good. I feel like I prayed about this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's what it's about. That's really what it's about. And it's looking again at those areas that need to be addressed. Like, where are those holes in our relationship? Let's address those things so that we can come out this thing stronger than ever before. Like, you should come out stronger with less. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to do all that extra stuff. See, the trips and all that stuff, that was clouding the real issues. And that's what it is. I teach you to own your ish which are your
Own your
issues in
issues.
your relationship. I ain't cuss. See, somebody thought I cussed. I said issues.
Own your ish,
Own your
ladies.
issues.
Yes, yes, I love that. Speaking of owning, one of our favorite questions I like to ask, what has been probably one of your pettiest arguments?
Where do I begin? Oh my goodness. That's sad.
Just one.
Okay. So my husband, he, in my opinion, he does not like to lock the door. Okay? Like the front door. I feel, because my husband's from the country.
Oh.
And so a lot of times they leave doors unlocked, car doors unlocked, front, the house. I'm from the suburbs of the DMV. We lock everything. We lock everything up. So I remember having this conversation with him about locking the door. And I was fussing, and he called me a fuss box. He's like, you a fuss box? I'm like, I'm a fuss box.
I've never heard that before.
Girl, like, he'll say stuff, and I'm like, I'm a fuss box. And he's like, yeah, all you do is fuss. So I was like, oh, I'm a fuss box. I'm going to show you. So I went to go grab the door because I thought it was unlocked, because I saw the bottom lock. He had locked the top. And so I pulled it, and it wouldn't open, which meant it was locked. And so then I tried to change it on him and say, you called me a fuss box. So I tried to make it all about being a fuss box, when the real issue was, you were wrong, boo. He really did lock it. I want you to say you apologize. Now, you call me a fuss box. I don't be fussing. I just want us to be safe. I had to make it all into, the victim mode. We do it.
Yes.
I want us to be safe. My family ain't safe. The door unlocked. I mean, y'all. So, yeah.
I'm like, are we married to the same husband? Because I feel like it's similar.
Girl! So that was one of my petty moments of many.
I've done the same. That actually reminds me of when we were upstairs, and so I'm from a small city, so I used to not just be careless about it, but just a little like I wasn't. But when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, oh, I gotta lock everything. Like even the door to the garage, I still lock that. Like, what if somebody breaks into the garage?
Right.
I had to make it harder. And one night, the alarm went off, so freaked me out. I woke up immediately. Eric, I had to kind of wake him up, which usually he's a light sleeper, and I'm like, babe, the alarm's went off. So I'm freaking out because the home invasions is like my worst fear. I never had that fear until I moved to Atlanta. No shade, but it's just the truth. And so he wakes up, he goes downstairs, and I called the 911. They call and stuff, for the security. Yeah. And they're like, ma'am, and I'm like, they're like, what is he wearing? I'm like, he's in his drawers. He just got out the bed. And I'm like, and he's black, so don't be trying to do nothing crazy.
Right.
And I'm like, babe, is everything okay? What's going on? And he's not answering. So finally he comes back upstairs. He was like, oh yeah, the garage door, I think the wind blew and the garage door open. And I was like, excuse me?
The garage door, the one I
yeah. Hey, what? Excuse me? So I was like, oh, so before we get fake broke in again, so I was doing that for like a good week. I was like, make sure you lock up, because I don't want to get fake broke in again, and then my alarm go off. He's petty.
Right. So I'm like, I don't want to be a fuss box. I mean, I'm just asking you, do what I ask you to do, so I won't be a fuss box.
Come on, somebody.
We here.
Oh, listen. Okay, so you've talked and coached a lot of married women.
Yes.
What's a common issue that you see come up repeatedly when it comes to marriage, and even on both sides? And like something that you're like, I wish we could if we could maybe do, and I say we because we're in this together. Like none of us are, and we all have our different issues, but what's something common that you've seen, like a common thing?
Outside of communication, because we talked about that, I would say the unrealistic expectations. Like we really think we married the perfect people. I subconsciously somewhere we done created this ideal of what this husband is supposed to be like, of what this wife is supposed to be like. And when they don't show up as that in your marriage, you get real disappointed. And I'm just like, but didn't I date? Because I always go back to, okay, but what was the attraction? Like, what did you think was going to happen on the day that you said I do? Did you think like some fireworks were going to go off, unless you arranged for that to happen? But did you think some fireworks were going to go off, like things were just going to shift and he was just going to become this Prince Charming from the movies you've been seeing? Nah, that same man, that same woman is going to be the same one the day after, right? And so I think setting unrealistic expectations. And that could be something as simple as, and I know a lot of people may disagree with me on this, which is fine, but expecting your spouse to be your best friend. Because some people feel, and I do believe that there are a lot of couples who are best friends. There are a lot of couples, and I'm not saying that's not true, but some people come into marriage thinking that they have to make their spouse their best friend. And then they want to spend all that time with that person. They don't have no identity of themselves. Like, you are an individual, he an individual. Y'all together, like, chill out. Go with your friends, baby. Give him some breathing room. Give her some breathing room, sir. Like, so that to me is an unrealistic expectation. Expecting him or her to read your mind. Like, I mean, we've been together 20 years. He's here. We've been together 20 years. You know, he still can't read my mind, and I damn sure can't read his. So you know what I've had to learn how to do? Communicate. I've had to learn how to ask for what I want, and I just do the, it sure be nice.
Yes.
And Shelby, oh, I like how he did that for her. That's, oh, look at this trip, Loud. Look at this trip. Look how they did that TikTok video. That's real cute. If you want to do a damn TikTok video, go tell the man.
Go tell the man.
Go do a TikTok video.
Right.
So the unrealistic expectations. So that's something I feel that we have to really grasp our mind on, because we come into marriage with these high hopes, high expectations, and then when they're not met, we get disappointed and we feel like it's over. Nah, boo, you just married. Like, now work at creating the type of marriage you want.
Exactly. I think a lot of times people think too, they're like, oh, when I get married, my life will be perfect, everything. It's like, no, sweetheart, like your issues don't go away. You just get a whole new set of issues, and you get to go through them, and you get to go through life with the person that you love. Ooh. But all of your issues don't just disappear. You just get a whole new set of new issues that you've never had before.
That's it. That's it. Tell me, Shonda.
Listen, I'm trying. You got more experience than me, but I'm trying, sis. I'm trying. To that, for the unmarried, what would you say to those who aspire? Because and if you relate to the to joining us, drop in 1 for single, 2 for married, because we want to know who we got. Shay said, my husband told me he didn't want to be my best friend. He said, that's why I married you. I had to sit back and appreciate that. Aw, that's honest. That's really honest.
But what's wrong with that? Can I be honest with you? My best friend is my sister.
Oh.
So there's certain conversations. Listen, yes, I know that's your man. You're gonna be with him for the rest of your life. I get it. There's certain conversations that I know my husband is not interested in having with me. I'm just gonna be honest. And I can go to my sister and be like, girl, guess what? It's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of like, and he's not gonna feel like he's missing out on anything because he don't want to know it anyway. But if I'm forcing him to be that role, to fill that role, like, you're gonna learn everything about me. I want to be your lover. I want to be everything. I want to make sure we do everything together. We gotta go to the store together. We gotta tie.
You have to like what I like.
Come on now, no. You are setting yourself up for disappointment. You're setting yourself up to be miserable for no reason. Yeah, like that's for no reason. So yeah,
good. And like you said, some people it happens that way, and some people you're not. Like you said, it's just not. Like me and my husband are almost opposites when it comes to certain things, but he's to me he's like my best friend. But like you said, you can't go in thinking that he's going to love every single thing.
Absolutely,
everything you want to do. Like, that's just unrealistic. Like, that is so good.
Thank you.
Okay, so I see
question, Shonda?
The singles and the married. What would you say to those who are unmarried but aspire to be married, and like something, to encourage them during the season? Because I realize we have our wives, and if y'all just tune in, you're gonna have to replay this because LB has been killing it and dropping those gems. But I want to also be mindful of those who aspire to be married, and like any advice you would give for them.
All the single ladies. Put your hands up. Put your hands up, ladies. Okay, so this is what I would say for my single ladies. You got to prepare for what you've been praying for. Yeah, you got to prepare for what you've been praying for. And what do I mean? Okay, this is what I want y'all to do. This y'all homework tonight. Y'all ready? I want y'all to make a list of the type of man you want. I know you done made a list, but make a list. Make a real good list of everything you want that man to be, what you want him to have, all this. Make a real detailed list, okay? And then the second part, I want you to become the list. That's my Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I love y'all. That's how you prepare for what you've been praying for. Everything you say you want, you need to attract it in your life. So if you create this, listen, most of y'all make lists for men who don't exist. That's why he ain't show up, boo. That's why he ain't. You like, well, where the heck is this man? Because he don't exist. I don't know who that man is. I'm sorry. He may not have all of the qualities or everything. He might have about 98%. He might have 90%. That's pretty good. But it's that 10% you got to see, okay, is that negotiable? Is that non-negotiable? Can I tolerate that? Can I not? Stop looking for a perfect man because he ain't out here. You're going to be single a long, long time. So prepare for what you've been praying for by make a list or a description of the type of man you want to be married to, and stop just being superficial on looks and he got to be 6-figure. He got to drive a Bentley. Look, boo, that don't mean happiness. That don't mean nothing. I'm just letting you know that. That mean, he can drive a Pinto. Now, y'all know I'm old school. He can drive a Pinto and treat you like, I mean, the queen of you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, you want to make sure it's not superficial. Think about the qualities. Think about how you want him to treat you, how you want him to treat your children, the type of energy y'all want to share, what type of legacy y'all want to create, those types of things. And then you start working on becoming that so you can put yourself in position to attract that. You're welcome.
Boop. Listen, I've already seen mic drop. Good night. If this was the end, I'd be like, thank you and good night. But thankfully, we still have a rapid fire. But listen, you said a word, okay? Said a word. And especially when you were talking about like the superficial stuff and like the stuff on the outside, like the money and all that. Life happens. Like, we're in a global pandemic. You have absolutely no idea. There have been times in my marriage where I'm making more money, he's making more money. Like, it fluctuates. You never know. So even though your man might be making 6 figures when y'all get together, who knows what can happen? Who knows if he's going to get laid off, his business may go under. Like, you never know. So you have to be open to like other things. It has to be more than just that. Because like that stuff will not sustain you. Life fluctuates. And if the pandemic hasn't taught us anything, life is unpredictable.
Yes. Look what happened to Marcus and Tosh. Was it not Tosh? What's her name on Why Did I Get Married? Remember how he started out, he was the old breadwinner, and then, you know what I'm saying, things happened with him, and then she became, and look, she kept throwing it in his face. When you gonna make some money? Remember all that? Things can change like that.
Things can change.
Again, that foundation.
Yep.
What is this marriage really built off of? We can get the money back.
Exactly.
We can build the business back up.
Exactly.
So we gotta make sure we good.
Exactly.
The CEO and the COO. We gotta make sure we good first.
Somebody said, become the list. And the wise wife said, it's a word. And Radiant said, yes, his glass is empty now. Mine is almost empty too, child. And Zori, she says, life doesn't have a blueprint and neither does marriage. Exactly. It's like, even though we're providing our stories and our experiences, these are our experiences. But at the same time, once you get in it, you're going to be in it. So whatever works for your marriage is what works for your marriage. Woo! You said you have brought it tonight. Okay, let's get to this rapid fire, honey. Before I run out of time, look, I can't even keep my feet straight. All over the place. Okay, so these are just 10 quick, fun, what I call rapid fire questions that I like to ask the wives. And I've thrown in a few new ones here or there. So, first one.
Wait. How it work? I'm just supposed to give a one-word answer. What?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The questions are pretty straightforward, but yes, I should have provided more instruction. But yes, you just give like one word answer, just real quick, like hit it and quit it.
Hit and quit. Okay.
Toilet paper over. Oh, and make sure for the viewers, you all chime in. And if you have any questions for LB, make sure you drop them in the chat as well. Toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Yes. Toothpaste, squeeze or fold?
Squeeze.
Cook at home or take out?
Take out. Pandemic, y'all. Pandemic. Curbside.
What about before pandemic?
Curbside. Take out.
Hey, no judgment. I see y'all overs. Who said fold? Fold.
I think she been over.
Okay. I'm like, fold? I was like, that's new.
No, she's talking about the toothpaste.
Oh, toothpaste. Yeah. My bad, girl. My bad. I was like, fold. That's an interesting concept. Sex in the morning, during the day, or at night?
All of the above. But hey, that morning sex. baby.
If I could just.
This how you be in the morning sex, you be like this during the day.
Right.
The house burning down. You like, hey.
Or you be like this. Just go ahead, bitch. You got to. Go ahead. I'm done.
Oh, God.
Would you rather, option A, and you guys put A or B, option A, argue all the time but have great makeup sex if you had no choice at all. Argue all the time but have great sex, or B, never fight and have mediocre sex.
Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to say B.
Okay.
Because arguing all the time, that's too much energy. We're going to put that energy somewhere else. And you ain't say nothing about foreplay. Sex is a physical act. Foreplay is where it's at.
And we're not, even though I'm such a 90s girl, like.
We are.
Yes. Are you cool with being in the bathroom with each other or no?
Each other.
Okay. Beach vacation or cold cabin getaway?
Beach vacation. Jamaica, man.
Yes, yeah, man, yes. Date night at home or night out on the town?
Night out on the town. Show me off, boo. Show me off. I want to see you.
Hit it. That was my dance.
Girl.
Who takes longer to get ready?
Derek.
I think we're married. We might. Derek and Eric. Maybe they're long lost brothers.
I'm telling you. Yes.
Who's the first to apologize?
Derek.
Right. Go on, take a sip, sis. Go on, take a sip. Okay. One more bonus. Who's the better driver? Just because I want to know.
I think Derek. I give it to Derek.
But you think that you are?
I think I am, but I give it to Derek because he really is. He hasn't been in as many accidents as I've been in.
Yes. And I'm seeing y'all's comments. Somebody said just because he is super slow. Oh, is he super slow driving or super slow like getting
super
ready?
Slow and getting ready.
Night on the town. Somebody said I like to get cute. The beach, yes. Jamaica, yes. Each other. Oh, a lot of you all are fine with being in the bathroom with each other. Y'all pray for me, saints. Okay, I'm still working on it. Still working on it. Eric loves it, and I'm like, no thanks.
Right.
But he still comes in anyway, and I just
right. What you doing? Seriously?
Yeah.
Give me 5.
So this has been incredible. The gems you dropped, I'm like, whether you married or single, it doesn't even matter. Like, this has been such a blessing. I want you to please tell everyone like how to follow you, and especially about your masterclass, how they can sign up, as well as your planner. So let the people know. Give it to them.
First of all, thank you. Because I know reaching out to me during this time, you probably was like, I don't know if I should send LB an invite or not. I was so grateful. And I thank you for this. This is exactly what I need. This is how I celebrate mommy's life, continuing to do things that she know that I was doing, and she loved the wife coach. So I want to continue to help as many wives as I can. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. You can follow me on Instagram at The Wife Coach. And to learn more about my masterclass, I'm currently in session right now. So you got to add your name to the wait list for the next one. And make sure, everybody put this in the chat room, you need to text the word wife to 31996. Text the word wife to 31996, and I'm going to give you an ebook, a free ebook that you can start doing the work while you wait. You want to know if all married women aren't wives? You're going to find out if you fall in that category. So text wife to 31996. And for my people who are ready to get their hands on a copy of the Marriage Success Planner, if you order it tonight, it will ship tomorrow. You're going to text planners to the same number, 31996. Look at this. Thank you, Shonda. That's what I'm talking about. 31996. So text wife and text planners to that same number, and I'll take care of you.
Yes, I love it.
Thank
yes.
you.
Somebody said, love you, LB. You back like you never left.
Oh, I love you, girl.
Yes.
Wow. One of my wives that been holding me down. She's been holding me down. Delonda's on here. My ladies have been holding me down. My cohort 4. Like, just so many. The love has been amazing. I can't honestly tell you how we're doing this. I don't know how I'm doing this. But the love and support has been absolutely amazing. Thank y'all so much.
Somebody said, learned a lot. Thank you, ladies.
Yay! This was so much fun. Girl, you had to do this in the studio. When we doing this again?
Listen, every week we're here. Somebody
True.
said, I did see a question. When and where are the classes?
Okay, so the classes, you have to sign up so you'll know. Because like, everything is like real Like I do a list and then I say, okay, sign up. Registration closed tomorrow. So you got to get on that list. So go to my link in my bio. Click the link and you'll see where it says add your name to the wait list. But just make sure you also get that free ebook so you can do your work while you wait.
Yes. Now, ladies, for those who are new, we'd like to do this every week. And for those who are returning, you all know how we close it out. Grab your glasses. Let me see your wine glasses in the chat, since I can't see you all, which I really wish I could. But grab your glasses. It's time for us to toast it up. And so, LB, I want you to lead us off and let us know what you're toasting to tonight.
Oh, my goodness. I'm toasting to finding purpose in pain. I am toasting to my ladies who are single, who are not going to allow their pain to pick their partner. Okay? So I'm toasting to finding purpose in this pain that we may be experiencing. Everybody experiences different types of pain. So that's what I'm toasting to.
I had to write that down. Did y'all hear that? We are toasting to single ladies not letting their pain pick their partner.
We ain't doing that.
And for everybody else, we're gonna toast to finding purpose in our pain.
And that pain could be anything. It can be the pain of your man being at home all the time. It can be the pain of y'all not on the right track. Whatever that pain is.
Woo.
Toast to it.
Even on the toast, you brought a good word. Come on, somebody.
It's the wine. It's the wine.
Well, listen, I toast to exactly what LB said, and I also toast to every single lady on here, whether you're just joining us this week or you've been rocking with us since day one. I toast to you all because I am seeing how you all, my special guests, are really impacting women. Some lady told me last week, she said, listen, I already told my husband, you're going to have to put the kids down at 8 o'clock because I got to go join Wives Wine Down. And I'm like, yes, tell your husbands they can put the babies to bed. You can grab your wine and have your girl time. And because this is for us, ladies. So I toast to every single one of you all of my guests I've had so far, and to exactly what LB said. Cheers. Toast it up. Ting, ting, ting. Eye contact.
My sister taught me that with the eye contact. She's like, cheers. I'm like, why are you staring at me? She's like, you gotta have eye contact.
Yes.
Thank you.
Who was that? Zori said, I'm toasting to a happy marriage and finding my purpose in my marriage with love and honesty.
Ooh, Zori. Hey, Zori. Girl,
yes. I love that. Well, on that note, LB, you have been everything and more. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And thank God for this divine connection.
Yes.
Y'all, me and LB haven't even seen each other in person in probably years. So it just goes to show that, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can still have those authentic, genuine relationships with people, but I appreciate you more than you know, especially during this time. So I just want to thank you again. You are incredible.
Thank you. Love you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes. So everyone, that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining Wives Wind Down. I'll catch you here every Wednesday at 8 o'clock and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you tell a friend, share, repost, and all of that. And if you missed the beginning, you can always catch the replay. I'll be posting that very shortly on my IGTV. So thank you all. Thanks, LB.
Love you.
Yes. Everyone have a great evening.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.